Okay, so I welcome you once again, student. Today also we are going to start our discussion with a very nice video clipping, and I must thank the channel Pirada 27, which is I have mentioned here, right? So you can just search role play business meeting in the YouTube, and you will get this video. I have added here the video for you. So I'm actually thankful for this video to this particular channel. So let us first see the video and then we will continue our discussion.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here on time. Good morning. Good morning. Hey, how are you? Yeah, I'm doing well. I heard that you went on vacation. How was it? Oh, it's very fantastic. Where did you go? Paris. Wow, so jealous. Yeah. Okay, before we start, make sure that you have all the copy of the agenda. Yeah. You have it, right? Yeah, let me check the PowerPoint. Okay. Okay. Can you help me? Okay, so our purpose today of the meeting is to discuss about our new market. Because as you know, our product, you can see from the graph, our sale keep going up every day from January 2007 until October. So I think it will be good if we expand our market. What do you think about this? I think we should expand our market plan into overseas so that we can get more customers and can make a lot of money. Wow, that is really nice. But if we'll go overseas, which country should we export our products? For my point of view, I think we might export our product into some country in Europe, such as England, Italy, or Germany, or other area like Australia or New Zealand. And moreover, it would be great if we also expand our product into some Asian country like China, Korea, or Japan. That is really nice idea to import our product to US or European country like UK, because as we know that the foreigner they're really crazy about having tan skin. But for Asian country like China, Koreans or Japan, I don't think so, because they want to have white skin. If we export or expand our market there, we will not get a lot of profit. Moreover, they strongly believe in their culture that we should have white skin. It will bring you good luck, something like that. I think so. Yeah. Okay. So we move to the market target. As you know, our market is only focused on the 30 to 40 age-year-old women. Should we looking for a new market target? Yeah, I think the old target market around 30 to 48 is okay, but we should focus more the younger age, around 17 to 22. 17 to 22. Yes, because the trend of tan skin is becoming more popular than before, and most of people always think that tan skin is very attractive to other people. Okay, I really like your idea. We will focus on the old customer and looking for the new customer target. But I'm not sure that the young age, 17 to 22, do they have money to buy our product? Because as you know, our product is quite luxury. Yeah. Yeah, so we should put our products in the mass market, in which we can set the price in different levels, whether it be a low, middle, and high price. And to attract a new younger customer, we have to set a price to be more cheaper and affordable for those who are students and who are worker who have average income on the lower. And I think to do so, we will have more profit and the growth of the company. Okay. Yes, I agree with you, Mai. Because I think that we should create a small site
because some people might want to try before buy a big one and don't want to wait that a lot of money.
Yeah, that's really nice idea, both of you. Okay, we'll go to the like who should be the next ambassadors because our market will expand to the international. So I would like your idea who should be our brand ambassadors.
In my opinion, I think that Rihanna, because she has a brown skin tone and she's very famous and has a many fans. So I think this is the best PR technique to make our product famous.
Hmm. Absolutely agree with you, Rihanna, because she have tan skin and she very famous. So she have lot of fans. So maybe their fans will like really crazy with our products.
Yeah, for me, I suggest Taylor Swift because she is a famous singer and she can create a brand image in a positive ways. So that's why I choose Taylor Swift as a next ambassador.
Okay. Taylor Swift is also okay, but the problem is like we selling tan skin. Our brand ambassador should be like have the tan skin. Taylor Swift, yeah, she quite popular, but she don't have like brown skin to show the brand image our products.
Yes, for me, I choose Kylie Jenner. Since she is well known among the teenager and she has a lot of followers on her Instagram. So I think her influence can draw the younger to try our products.
Okay, that is really nice point too because Kylie Jenner is like the idol of the young age. Yeah, anyone else?
For me, I suggest for a guy, I think Zac Efron, as his image is a healthy sportman, so I think he suit our product the best.
Wow, that is really nice idea because I don't have in mind that like the guy can be the presenter of the tan skin. Wow, we have the three person in our mind now: Zac Efron and Kylie and Rihanna. Okay, we'll talk this in the next meeting. Mm-hmm. Come to the last part. Okay, before that, could you tell me if we go beyond the 10 minutes?
Okay.
Okay. As you know, we will like introduce our product to the new market with promotion that we can grab our customer attention.
In my opinion, I think that we just explain to the new target, right? So we should give a simple product to people who buy our products and give a 20% of discount to people who buy more than 5,000 baht.
Okay, I agree with you that we will give the sample products at the small package. But I don't agree with the 20% discount because it will cost a lot to our company.
Excuse me, I think we have to finish this topic since the time is taking more than 20 minutes and we have like just 15 minutes to end this.
Okay. Well, I would like with Kirana to like sum up what we have thought today, what we agree or disagree with these meetings to make understanding to each of you.
Alright, so we have talked about exporting our new product to new countries, the United States, England, Germany, Australia, and Philippines. And as for the target market, normally we focus on working age, but now we try to focus on the new group, which is teenagers. And now we will also change our premium product to mass product because mass market is easy for us to get into it, and we will set our price cheaper than before. So the next ambassador for our new market will be considered in the next meeting. And finally, our new promotion is that we will give product example and voucher for customers.
Okay, do you guys have any question?
No.
Okay, thank you for today.
So, our topic today is planning process. As we know that planning is deciding in advance what to do and how to do, isn't it? And we have already studied that it's a process of decision making, right? So to make the decision, if it is a process, then there would be certain steps So how do we go about making a plan means what are the steps involved in the planning process. This is what we are going to discuss today. So obviously there would be certain logical steps which usually managers follow. See, these are not the only steps which everyone has to follow. The planning process, the steps will vary people to people, situation to situation, organization to organization, and it also differ that for what you are planning. But usually we follow these 7 steps to plan anything about business. We can follow these 7 points. Okay. So now, to have a better understanding about these steps, now let us take one example, then the things would be more clear. See, the first step says that setting objective means we have to set the objective first. So we may take the case of an say Maruti company, Maruti car manufacturing company, which is planning to increase its sales of the small cars by say 20% in the coming 3 months, say August, September, October. In these 3 months they are planning to increase their sales by 20%. Now the second step says that it's a developing premises. So what we are supposed to do in developing the premises means actually the company's forecasting are basically will be based upon the number of assumptions. Assumptions means we'll assume that these are the things. For example, no, certain assumption we'll have. For example, suppose we assume that the people's disposable income has increased. This is one assumption, right? Maybe that in this coming month the festival seasons are approaching, so people consider it auspicious to make a new car purchasing. They feel that it is auspicious to buy it. So and then government is providing suppose tax benefit, huh? Or they are giving loan facilities has been increased, so car loan is easily accessible. So banks have simplified the formalities involved in the processing of loan and so on. So all these things we have considered, we have assumed, right, that these are the things available there right now. Now in the third step, which is identifying the alternative courses of action, suppose the company in this perspective, the managers have to consider the various possible alternatives. For example, to achieve the desired goal of increasing 20% sales, say, let us assume that the manager have identified four possible alternatives. A, they will offer free accessories with the purchase of every car. B, featuring the celebrity, they can have some brand ambassador in its advertisement to influence the buyer's behavior. Possible. The third, they may offer say 10% discount on road price of the car. Fourth, they may use certain techniques of say 0% finance, wherein the buyer does not need to make any down payment at the time of purchasing the vehicle, and the entire price of the car can be raised through loan. So these are very attractive offers, that may attract people. So these are the different you can say the alternative actions which the manager of the company Maruti can take it. Now the fourth one, after listing all these various different type of alternatives, the next important job of the manager is what? To evaluate each of these four identified alternative through a say careful analysis. So that is evaluating alternative courses of action which we have already decided. Now comes the fifth step. Say, let us presume that the manager have decided to select the second option. That was what? That they will feature a famous celebrity or the model or the brand ambassador in their advertisement. That will attract people. So they have come up on this option alternative. So they have selected now the alternative. Now the sixth step is what? That in such a situation, the next step will involve what? Contacting an advertisement company, getting the new advertisement made both by, and the using the electronic media, print media, ensuring that the advertisement are displayed at the right place at the right time in order to create the right kind of impact on the prospective buyer, and so on. So in this way, what we are doing, we are implementing this plan which we have decided, which you have selected, that we will increase, we will have a celebrity in our advertisement, correct? Now the last step, that is what? Follow up action is what? It's not less important, it is very important. The managers will have to review the situation after 3 months, because we have made this plan that in 3 months we want to increase the sales by 20% in 3 months. So now to access how far we have been able to achieve the desired goal, we need to ensure this, we need to take the follow up of this. So in this way, these 7 steps are taken. Now we will talk these step one by one in little more detail. So hope you all are set now, you are ready now to understand everything. Okay, now let us move. The first is what? The setting objective. So when I'm saying that, the first thing which we have to do, we need to set the objective. See, if you are going to plan, then you have to set the objective. Like in the previous example, what we did, we want to increase our sales by 20% in the coming 3 months of our small car segment. So it's a very clearly stated statement, correct? So objective should be very focused and very guided, So the first and foremost step is we have to take this, that setting objective. And then the goal should be very specific. You need to specify the goal. Otherwise, it is not an objective. So, like here again, I have taken the example, same example. Suppose we want to increase the sales by 20%. That may be the objective of the whole of the organization. Now, all the departments, all the managers, all the employees have to contribute their efforts towards achieving this organizational goal. Got it? Now one more word which you have to remember it, that it should be stated very clearly so that all the units, employees, departments are working towards it. So two things you need to remember here. It should be specific, should be very clearly stated. Getting it? Then only it will be able to give direction to all the departments. So now all the departments, units, people of the organization, they all have to follow the organization's philosophy or to achieve that organization's objective. See here, the word is written, objective have to percolate down to each unit and employees at all levels. So here this word may be new for you. Percolate means what? A seed, or to spread, to expand, or you can say drip, so all these are the meaning of this word. But here I would just to make it simple, I would say that objectives have to expand to each unit and employees at all levels. So one say the top level management has decided the objective. Now the same objective should be of the middle level, supervisory level, and the workers even. So the same time the managers must contribute ideas and participate in the objective setting process also. And there should be an understanding that how these actions contributes to achieving the objective. So basically it is all about the end result. So if the end result is clear, so it becomes very easy for us to work towards our achievement of the organizational goal. Getting it? Now, my dear student, I would like to add here one more thing to make it more clear that what should be the objective, or how you will form the objective. So I want to suggest one thing here, that your objective should be SMART. Okay, so when I say that objective should be smart, it means that I want to say you that your objective should be specific. Second is your objective should be measurable. Third is it should be achievable or attainable. You can attain it easily, right? It should not be something which is not possible, right? So that should not happen. It should be achievable. Huh? Then it should be relevant, or you can say it should be realistic, correct? And then there must be some time, that within this much time I need to achieve this objective. So objective should be time bound. So specific, measurable, achievable, attainable, or relevant or realistic, you can say, or it should be time bound. Then it becomes smart. So I normally say that smart people make smart objective, right? So student, now you all be ready to form your own objective. This would be my homework for you, that you have to frame your own objective of the career, of the life, of your study, whatever you want to. Now let us understand it, that how will you frame it. Okay, now I'm going to show you that how I'm going to make my objective. So now my objective is that I want my student to score good marks. Correct? Okay. So now, is it a smart objective? The answer is no. Why? Because I said that the objective should have these five things into it. Right? So it is not a specific. I want my student to score good marks. So which student? Right? And score good marks where? In which examination? In unit test or in pre-board examination? Where? So now I need to frame it again. So now I would say I'm reframing this statement. Now I am saying that I want my student to score good marks in CBSE, right? So Central Board of Secondary Examination. Now it is very clear that the students who are going to appear in class 12 board examination, I want them to score good marks. My dear, it is specific. But the second objective is not there. That is what? Measurable. Can I measure this? If my student score good marks. So what is the definition of good marks? How much marks would be considered as good marks? You know, once I remember, the result was declared, the board result was declared, and I was in Delhi. So I was staying with one of my relative, and the girl whose result was announced, she scored 97% marks, right? And she was crying because she was afraid that now she will not get the admission in her desired college. So she was upset, she was not happy about it. And then I came back Varanasi after 2-3 days. And when I came here, it's a uh, very old story. So one student came to my home with a sweets packet, said that, sir, I'm very happy I passed in class 12. I said that, okay, tell me that how much marks you got. He said, sir, I have got 54% marks. And I was very happy, was distributing sweets. So see, the good marks is what, 54 or 97? It will vary, it will depend on the people. So let us now make it measurable, that how much you should score, then I will consider that, okay, it is good marks. Now I say that I want my student to score 100%, 100 marks in business studies in CBSE examination. Okay, now see, it is specific because I have mentioned the examination name. I have made it 100, so it is measurable. Correct? Now, next thing is missing here. What is that? Is it achievable? Is it possible that all my students will score 100 marks? Is it possible? So, measurable, it is correct. But when I say that I want my all students to score 100 marks in board examination, right? So, is it achievable? See, I'm seeing that some of the students are saying no, but I say yes, it is, because all the student can score 100 marks. Suppose I could have written here 120 marks, then it is not achievable, right? Because you cannot score 120 out of 100 marks. So achievable, it is correct. Yes, it is there, right? But it may not be relevant, it may not be realistic. Like all 100 students of my class are going to score 100 marks. This may not look very practical, this may not look realistic, right? So now I need to reframe this. I want my all students to score above 90% marks in CBSE examination. Now it is relevant also, realistic also. Getting it? Okay, it is realistic, it is measurable, it is achievable, it is specific. See, all the qualities of objective, smart objective is there. But my dear, tell me that I want these marks to be achieved by my students, but when? After 5 years, after 6 years, or after 3 years? I have not mentioned this. So now let us make it complete. I want my all student to score above 90 marks in CBSE in the year 2021. Now this is having all the qualities of objective. That is what? Smart. So now it becomes smart objective. Why? Because it is specific, because it is measurable, because it is achievable, because it is realistic or relevant, and because it is having a time bound frame also. So now see, this is the example I have given. Actually, this may not be my objective. My objective may be this one. Okay, so now I want you all, my students, to frame your own objective based on this. So let us now make a smart objective and send it to me. This is your homework. Okay.